again, dear people. You're online with the To the Edge of Eternity campaign. Usual suspects are not all here tonight. We're missing one Venifer briefly, who is held up late. Hopefully will be joining us later. But for what we have now, we'll get rolling into it. Do we want me to just do the recap, or someone want to volunteer, or?
You can go ahead.
Copy that. God damn it. I thought I'd worked that out of my vocabulary. Continuing their descent into the mines, the group went further down on the elevators they'd found, exploring, assassinating goblins, and freeing goblin prisoners who Jadis then led to the surface. So, while she was doing that, the rest of the group continued exploring as they heard chanting begin further into the mine. Quickly eliminating enemies, they charged in to confront a Minotaur priestess, a shamaness, a shaman, conducting a ritual which drained the life of two of her race to empower an axe. Confronting her, the group sought to stop it, slow it down by killing the Minotaur that had the life drained from them, only to find that it quickened the ritual and it fed life to that axe quicker. The life drained from those Minotaur, the priestess, the shaman, picked up that axe and turned to the whole reason that had begun this escapade, this adventure. A young boy tied up, ready for sacrifice. With a whispered prayer to who knows what gods, calling on the gods of the goblins, see mention of the cartographer Gertrude Gibblespit's name. Colin let loose an arrow and hit the priestess's hand, forcing her to drop that axe, giving the group much needed time to finish the priestess and save the boy and interrupt this ritual. On the heights of victory, Gulda, still fuming and raging, made them a slight error in judgment picking up that axe and managed to barely save himself from being overwhelmed by the presence of Sergrak within that axe. Following this, the group, still riding high, managed to catch up to those prisoners that they had rescued. Oh, sorry. Yawn. Caught up to the prisoners and escorted them back to the town of Honey Heath, the village. It was there that Colwyn and Jadis saw a single plume of smoke billowing up from where the river barges were tied. Racing to the scene, they discovered the bard, Silvertongue, dead, turned to stone, and the cartographers defeated, some of them barely clinging to life or grievously wounded. With the use of healing spells and assistance, they managed to help them recover to the point where their own much more powerful clerics could heal the group and restore them. an empty triumph at this point, a bittersweet victory. They returned to the village where questions were asked, forts were made, and the group finally relaxed and celebrated this small battle in whatever this burgeoning war was. Resolved. Whether it was won or not is another question. At the end of it, the group took their rest in the town square as the displaced villagers were given access to the beds and comforts of the inn and various homes throughout this village. And we come to the group in the morning as the sun rises in the morning, and they hear a voice intoning in the distance, greeting the dawn. Oh, holy soul, praise be your name. And that's where we start.
Okie dokie. So with that, I'll get the ball rolling in terms of my character's actions. Which first thing in the morning is to go and get a cave for himself and everyone around, and he is going to wait for Titus to finish his prayers and then offer him one. So that's my initial action.
Titus eventually comes up to you from. He's not praying at the church because.
Fan noise.
Fan noise. Okay, sorry. I'll try open. No, the window's open. God damn it. Anyway, he comes up to you. He had been praying in the middle of the square because the village temple there is burnt to the ground. At this point, it is smoke damaged and not really serviceable at this point. He smiles, takes a cave from you. It is much appreciated.
I don't know much about the Servant of Soul, but what I do know is that he likes his coffee first thing, and it's the least I can do for a man in your position. Kind of nods, bows.
You see them there. Even though he's been healed, there's still a slight scar on his face and his eye is a slightly different, lighter colour. I mean, he was lucky to have it restored at all and have vision in both his eyes. That there was such, between himself and Raven, there was such highly skilled clerics there. And he comes in. Would you join me for breakfast, young one?
Oh, that's very kind of you. Oh,
He steps towards the tavern and looks and realizes that there's people lying everywhere on the floor. Sorry, what were you saying there, Colin?
He was going to be just flustered, basically, long enough for Titus to go and do that, and then say something else before he responded.
Well, it looks like we were to be using the tavern. It seems to be full of, yes. He looks over and he sees that, and you remember that there was a barbecue placed out in the, with a fire pit, etc. It looks like the tavern staff or someone has brought out long tables into the town square this morning, and that is where you got the cave. You'd already noticed this, and that they are bringing out food, hot food there, and making a very simple breakfast for all and sundry, basically.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to get something decent out here. After you, my lord.
Oh, don't, my lord, me. I am just Titus. I get enough of that in town.
Right, you are, Big T. And he kind of wombles forward to go and order them some brekkie.
And you wander over, make your way over to the tables, and it is fairly simple fare. Just with how much they've lost and how much they have available to them. You see from out of town several carts rattling in from of the farmsteads that weren't affected, bringing food in for the town. Building supplies, that they are getting underway with the restoration of the town. Everyone chipping in.
And the bush moves, and up pops. Oh, okay. So this is where I slept last night. Oh, good morning, fellows. Is the food ready?
As you take a step out of the bush, you hear "Ah!" and a groan, and Grimner, "Don't step on me!"
Oh, sorry, Cribner. That was good fun last night. Cheers.
What happened
None the worse
last
for
night?
wear.
And he sits up, and he looks a bit rough around the edges. And you remember that at one moment you had a single tankard in the hand, whereas at times he had two, matching you 2 for 1.
Yeah.
As he got
Oh,
into the
yeah.
spirit of the drinking competition.
Goldie doesn't get hangovers anyway. But hey, well, I have to say, I'm making you an honorary dwarf.
He's like, well, our people have always been allies anyway.
Very true. Aye, but you kept up, and in fact, you outpaced me several times. So, aye, that'll do for me.
He's like, yay. You know what this calls for?
It's more ale,
Celebration.
isn't it? It's more ale, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll get you one. Come on.
He accepts you, helping him up, and climbs to his feet. And you guys go off to, try and source an ale.
Yep, just a morning pick me up. You understand? And some food, obviously.
So you all make your way over to the table and you get yourself a simple breakfast. And everyone's smiling. The townsfolk are grateful. A little bit in awe of the cartographers and worried about how you see concern in their eyes when they look at the 2 cartographers with you, because they've heard about how that badly they were mauled.
Now, folks, don't you know it's rude to stare?
The woman serving you shakes herself and goes, "Oh, sorry, sir. Yeah, yep. It was just here's a," and she gives you your food, stuttering and a little bit in awe. I mean, it's been a few days. It's been a rough few days with everything that's going on.
Nods, says his thanks, passes one to Titus.
And carve, bread, some cheese, maybe a little bit of bacon, but it's fairly simple, and there's not a lot because they're kind of rationing it with how much was lost.
Everyone gets one basic. which is fair. Yeah, just gonna sit down, make light conversation with him, and just be waking up and collecting himself.
And the morning passes, and you try to make small talk, but it's been a few days. And Titus looks at you and goes, "So, what do you plan? Are you heading to June City or Riversmeet? What of your friends that you've lost here?"
Well, that's probably going to be decided once everyone's up. I'm not exactly the de facto leader, more appointed for end-of-line decision-making, but yeah, we've got to go after this guy, figure out a way to stop him. And,
Well, that is the question. If you do, be careful. I do have one thing I want to try. Though I'm not sure it will work. And I believe I can use a true resurrection on the bard.
oh wow.
Though I do not have the resources with me, so I will have to do this. I feel obligated to try at some point.
What resources do you actually need for that?
I'm pretty sure it's
Yes.
a very expensive spell, man.
A whole kit and caboodle. Not something you can get from the Tesco Express.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Diamond's worth at least 25,000 gold pieces. And a sprinkle of holy water.
Well, a sprinkle of holy water we can probably do.
Yeah, that's not the hard bit.
That's what she said.
Does anybody know if there's a diamond mine around here? It's probably going to be most of it.
Which is why I said I do not have the resources at the moment.
No kidding.
But the man saved my life, and I feel obligated.
Understood, sir.
What? I've got an idea. Where's the headman's house? Kind of looks at him narrowly and says, "Soul's gaze truly does work in mysterious ways."
Oh. Why
Probably.
do you ask about the headsman's house? I think it was over that way before it burnt down.
Oh yeah, the whole burning and destruction thing. Well, you'll forgive me for saying so, but my experience in various professions is that, well, the highest and most wealthy among us, there's a possibility that, well, they may have, if not the exact item you need or want, information on how to acquire one in a reasonable time scale that doesn't require 2 months worth of travel to get it.
He raised an eyebrow. City boy?
Well, I go wherever.
And I doubt they have the kind of resources you seem to be hinting at in this in a rural village.
Oh, no, I don't think that they're just necessarily going to pull it out of their arse. I'm just... Well, tell you what, I'll be back in a few minutes.
He smiles, nods, curiosity on his face, but your
Yeah.
business is your business.
And yeah, that's me for now.
Yep. Grimner, hearing this, goes, diamonds. Maybe Raven can help out, but the treasury of the river, village, the town, isn't quite that flush, I don't think, and it's a fair way away. He thinks and goes, I understand why he feels obligated. I mean, I almost lost an arm. I did lose an arm. And he lifts his arm and he's like, it feels kind of stiff. Yeah, no. It's 2,500 gold piece, man. That's not even a tenth of it. That's a tenth of what they need.
Oh.
25,000.
Yes. Not monthly, yearly wage.
Yeah. Anyway, Grimner thinks, I think I got that probably got that much, just not with me. I don't carry around that much money.
Mhm.
I mean, we were rolling in it towards the end of the fight with Ronan, but we'd obviously been places, seen things, fought things, that had a lot of money. Damn me if I know where it is now. Then he looks at the ale mug he's got, goes, that's probably where it went.
Not a bad place to put it, in my opinion.
He raises a mug to you and drains the one he has.
I do the same, obviously.
He looks around and goes, what of the rest of your companions?
I don't know. They're obviously not up yet.
I am.
Okay.
No. Morning,
And
Paris.
I am probably awake, but I'm not there because I'm still like sitting in pretend doing some tinkering.
Yep. Come to you in a second then. Well, so, starting from the bottom, Varys, was that an in-character IM or was that an out-of-character IM?
I probably would have meandered over by this time to the group, so yes.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
want to do some random things beforehand, but yeah.
Okay. So, since you spoke first there, what are you come up and join them for breakfast. It's not hard to source a plate for the heroes of Honey Heath.
Cave. Beautiful. Just the kick in the ass I need in the morning.
At least he realizes he needs a kick in the ass. And at this point, Raven's coming up and he hears him say, "Not many casters do." And spellcasters realize that. Doesn't see Raven coming. Cops a slap to the back of the head.
Typical. Good morning, Raven.
Hey, considering it was almost my last day yesterday, it's a very good morning.
Right.
Right. I promised you I'd send a message to your clan, didn't I?
Yeah, did I?
Well, we best get about that then. Is there anything specific you needed to tell them?
I take him to one side and explain him the message. Ship lost, got washed up, made me way through Elven Forest, wound up here in Honey Heath. I'm going to go east and attempt to find out what happened to the ship, whether it made it through the storm, etc., etc.
He nods and I'll make sure it gets to the clans. And he sits down, sends it through to one of the more official people back at Riversmeet that he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And stands up and goes, "I'm sorry for your loss. The sea's
Thank you,
a
sir.
cruel mistress."
Aye, that she is. But a rewarding one too at the same time.
Aye, if you ever need a boat to go diving to see if you can find it, if it's at the bottom of the ocean, just ask.
That's very generous of you. You never know. It might have only been a few of us that were washed overboard. I mean, I went over and I'm fairly steady footed. You never know. They might have made it through. I
Here's
just don't
hoping.
know. Keep my fingers crossed.
I can only hope. Lythan and the ancestors hopefully spared him.
Right, well, Far Eyes, blessing. Actually, no, it's Lythan, isn't it, for me?
Lythan.
Yeah, sorry. With
That's
Lythan's
what-
blessing, we can count our blessings sometimes. I don't know if this will be one of them, but I keep the faith.
Aye. That's as you do. As you do.
Right, shall we rejoin everybody?
After you, sir.
Thank you very kindly. And goes and
Comes
sits
back.
down.
Doesn't know what Grimden has done. Slaps him on the back of the head just to be on the safe side.
He might have a bit of a sore head this morning. He was going at it a bit more than even for him.
Revan smiles, fully aware. I mean, he had joined you for a few drinks, but he didn't go as hard as you guys.
Well, no, obviously.
And even if he did, he may have cheated in, lesser restorations.
What are you talking about? Raven would never.
Yeah, he would. He just wouldn't let anybody see him do it. That's why Raven's the smart one.
So, going from the bottom, what was it you wanted to do there, Varys?
Obviously, I probably wake up a bit earlier than most people, so I'm gonna go check with the wounded,
Okay.
just see where I can help and stuff.
So you make your way around, check on a few things. One thing you do, you find a snoring bush, and without waking him, you check on Grimner, understanding that he was one of the worst hurt there, with that loss of his arm. And you were amazed at the sheer power that was brought to bear by Raven to heal his friend and restore that arm. And then sorry?
I was just gonna say it's only because because I amused myself. Hey, if he can restore the arm, if we got the arm that got taken off and restored that arm, could we have two? No, don't want to go there.
That's what he did, man. He reattached it through prayer.
Oh, he reattached it. Sorry, I thought it was. Yeah.
No.
I didn't grow him a new one.
Didn't grow him a new one, no. That's a whole different level of spell.
All right. After this, I'm going to go seek out the mayor.
without too much looking around, asking a few questions of the few people that are awake, you make your way to his house and find it is nothing but a burnt patch of rubble. And after some time, you find him just waking up and organising what would later be the breakfast tables and whatnot, and the preparation of a meal for the village.
I wrote his name down somewhere. Can I find it? Or can you just tell me?
I haven't got it in front of me at the moment.
Alright. I'm going to
Notes
talk.
are important, people.
Yeah, Father Merrick. Yeah.
I don't think I ever actually gave
yeah.
his name, if I'm being
You
honest.
did. You gave me the name of his assistant.
Ah,
Yeah.
Harris Edwards.
Harris Edwards. Alright.
Mayor Edwards. I do have it there. Look at that.
Yep. And I just found it myself. Alright. So I say, and so I go up and say, Mayor Edwards, I know you have many more important things to do than converse with me this morning.
It's fine. I'm basically just supervising now. They know what they're doing. He stops. I'm sorry for being so impatient the other day, but I was tired, exhausted, stressed, worried. It wasn't a good day. But you've done us a great service.
And I've also arranged to do you another service. I have, as far as it's because I've, and then he said, sorry, and I was able to get in contact by some weird magical thing to Lord Carrick, and Lord Carrick is going to be sending up some elves up to help you rebuild your town.
Are they bringing supplies?
I do not know, unfortunately.
I see. What we need is food at the moment and supplies to rebuild. Fortunately, we didn't lose many. We were lucky. We've had so many years of peace now that we weren't prepared for it. We got complacent, which is unusual considering this nation has been at war on two sides for God knows how long now. It never would have happened 20 years ago. The gates would have never been open or unguarded.
Unguarded gates are not necessarily a bad thing. Because they represent times of peace, and peace is a good thing.
Hopefully it lasts. Anyway, what can I do for you there?
Oh, I just thought I'd inform you that we're going to be sending some people to help get your village
I understand. I appreciate it.
back up into some.
Who should I be speaking to when they arrive?
I believe my brother, where did I put it, will be your point of contact. Middle brother. Yes. My middle brother's name is Jillison Emir.
Okay, I'll speak to Lord Emir when he gets here. Aymer for anyone that is making notes. He reaches out a hand, clasps yours in a strong grasp, shakes it. I appreciate all your help. And let your uncle, the Lord Carrick, know that we are more than amenable to his proposition about the mine. And thank you for all the aid that you and he have given us or offered us.
And this verse says, because we are a well-known family, people sometimes get the wrong idea about us, and this is something we're trying to change. Not just about the elven people, but about our family ourselves. Although it's also about a family, we aren't selfish. We aren't stuck up. We are for the people. And
By the people, for the people.
and the
Sorry.
people, and the people, and you're our neighbors. Thus, you are people too.
I'm sorry, out of character. That sounds condescending. They are people too.
It wasn't said. It wasn't said in a.
No, I know.
Said in a
I
condescending tone.
know.
I'd like to
he
interject
smiles.
for a second. I think that's actually incredibly fitting because you've got a high elf who is incredibly well-meaning and trying to use the best language he can, but is so kind of divorced from how other races kind of view things and kind of talk about stuff that he just comes across, legitimately or not, as a little bit of a twat.
Yeah, he's a bit naive.
Yeah, sorry, that's a better way of putting it.
Well, I would expect it comes from money.
It's not even just money, man. They've been trapped by their
Everyone
own
watching the
people for
webcam?
generations. Anyway, no, I can't. I don't watch your webcam.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, he honestly, he hears what you're saying, but he hears what you mean as well.
Yeah.
And he gives you a smile and he goes, "If I could offer one bit of advice for you, young man, get out, travel, and see the world. I mean, no offense, but I think you've been trapped in your tower for too long by circumstances. Whether it was, I think you call it the dark times, or just your upbringing and the lack of opportunity to know what the world is really like. Get to know the world. Get to know what people need, not what you think they need."
I have some self-discovery to do, so I think this is a good idea.
We'll go far. Young Jillison, stay safe and walk in soul's grace.
I like bow my head or whatnot, just and nod and then turn away. The other thing is I'm going to try and find Titus and possibly Gertie if they're up.
Okay, you've already made your way over there, so we'll leave that for a second and come
Yeah.
to it in a moment. Tenya,
Mm-hmm.
as Faris comes up, you said you wanted to make your way off to do some tinkering and stuff, or possibly before you come and meet with the group.
Yes, did this as soon as she woke up early and started to tinker, getting some stuff done.
Because I'm trying to have it all so it all comes together. So you're coming together at the one point.
Yeah.
To the lead to the breakfast.
Yeah. So the first thing she does is she dispels her goggles. Since she was lucky enough to find a new pair.
I'm a generous DM.
And so she dispels her old goggles, leaves them in her backpack, and then she takes out a small needle, which she infuses. That she sits there. She has her spell book open. She reads a few phrases, and the needle glows. And she presses the needle against her skin. and the needle just dissolves into kind of like this liquid ink, which then spreads onto her skin, and it moves up to her neck and leaves a small symbol, arcane symbol on her neck, in the form of a
tattoo?
Nope.
No.
I will. You guys will figure out what this is later. And
Okay.
it leaves like a small arcane tattooed symbol on her neck.
Not a problem. Keep your secrets, Magic Man.
Mhm. And this only takes a few seconds to do this, and then she will then take out her musket, and I will attempt to do some tinkering with it, changing out the barrel as I did like the night before, trying to do all that. What I did not remember last time is that I did not add my proficiency bonus.
Okay.
I did, and
Because
also, I in my notes, I can't rightly remember where I got it from, but you gave me a one-time advantage on tinker checks.
I did. I will say though, because you've done previously and discovered that you were lacking in materials. First thing I want to do before you do in any of your tinkering checks is make an investigation check.
Yes, I can do that. Please roll high. Please, I have a +5. Please roll high. 12.
Asking around. It's those springs that you need. You can't find them.
God damn it.
You ask around. And if you find a few that did have some, but with the damage to the town, no one has anything for you.
Oh, shit.
Because if you remember, I said you lacked resources for it.
Yeah. God damn it. I really need that range. All right. Yeah, that's fine. She'll like sigh to herself, put everything together, and fold her musket up, and she'll stand up and walk out and see if she can find the rest of the party.
Well, it's not hard. You basically lie down on your bedroll in the middle of the town square. I don't know if you've put up a tent. There were several that were available.
Yeah, she's in a tent.
So crawl out, come out. First thing you see is that table and the rest of your group gathered around talking there.
Oh, hello, guys. She walks over, sits down.
You look around, you don't see a Gertie, and you are not surprised. She has never been an early riser, and you know better than to wake her up in the morning.
Yep. And by the way, this tattoo would be quite, it's high up on her neck. Like, it would be visible. Good morning.
Morning.
So, how did everyone sleep?
In a bush.
Elves
I'm
don't
not
sleep.
surprised.
It was quite comfortable. It was a nice bush.
Gremlin groans and goes, "It was great until someone stepped on me.
Aye, sorry about that, lad.
Yeah, I needed to wake up anyway."
Fair.
She just reaches. Is it like a breakfast table, or are there foods on the table?
Think of it as more of like a serving line, man, where they've brought out things and you get your things and then you go up, stand around and eat it basically on a plate or whatever.
Yeah, she would probably
They don't really have tables out here for people to sit at.
Yeah, she would probably have grabbed like a plate with some bread and some bacon and stuff like that, and eggs, and then have her cup of cave, and her like sits on the table with her like nose like into her cup, like smelling the morning coffee.
As you sit down, a large hand falls on your shoulder. Might I join you? Might I join you? You look up. Dakin is there, asking if he can join the group.
Yeah, but
Hey, Dagon, grab a seat.
this
Pull
is
up
the
the back of your
Minotaur,
hat.
isn't it?
Yes, it is. And he's asking you specifically because he knows you. He's seen how you react to his presence.
Her face kind of like freezes up, like she
He-
scoots sideways a little bit, leaving a big open space for him.
Okay, he sits down beside her. I thank you, Lass. I know you're not exactly comfortable around me.
It's not you. Personally, I grew up in Earl's Bay.
We never. He nods. We never quite made it that far, but we were heading that way before the cartographers saved you all. Saved us. Set me. I mean, I was not a great person before that. They set me free. They opened my eyes, made me realize that there was a better way.
He
I
nods.
expect I'll burn in hell, in the hells, victim of Baphomet at the end of my days. But I try to do what I can to redeem myself. I have seen and done horrible things, so I understand why people fear us.
Nods and kind of like shakily raises her hand and like pats him on the side of the arm. Like it's okay. I'm still working on overcoming my fears, but I don't blame you.
I thank you. Coming here, though, what I sought to do, I failed, and had it not been for you and your friends, you saved not just me, but my people. Sergrak was a terrible, terrible man. And Titus nods in agreement, as does Grimnir and Raven.
Aye, sounds like a bit of a bugger.
Raven's like, if Titus, if Gertie didn't have that horn, that
Hey,
horn that
Hello.
summoned that, hello, to summon that Kamadi, we would have. I dread to think what would have happened. He would have just kept rolling across this nation, this continent. I don't think the military forces of Salzgard or Els Bay the Riverlands could have stopped him. And we have a Jadis, everybody.
Hurrah!
Huzzah!
Yeah, and at this point, Varys says redemption. At this point, Varys says at this point, Varys says redemption. He basically sorry.
Take a breath.
Hey, it wasn't me that said it this time.
Yeah. He basically says he goes and says redemption is a worthy path, but is a long one.
Aye, you're right on that one.
Yeah.
So just to bring Vinny up, Jadis up to speed, basically everyone's just gotten up from the sleep they've had in the village from the town square. They've just been a bit of a meeting. Titus was one of the first up with Colwyn. They've had a bit of a yak. Gulda crawled out of a bush, stepped on his drinking buddy Grimnir, woke him up, and they joined them. Then Faris and Tenyo have rolled up after a little bit of individual bits that they wanted to do. And that's basically where we're at. Dakin has just sat down to join them after asking permission from Tenyu, understanding that he makes her feel uncomfortable. And that's literally where we are at this point.
Aha.
So where is your character and what is she doing? Where is Miss Kitty?
Well, if they haven't released her, she'd probably still be babysitting.
That's right. She spent the night in the morning, once she woke up, sitting curled up at the foot of the lion statue in the center of the town square there, in between its paws. The young kids basically running their fingers through her fur, basically being attacked by a human kid pile. Stacks on, and just playing with her fur and watching as she uses her talent to prestidigitate it in minor illusion and whatnot that she does to make the colour of the coat shift and change as they touch it. And people fascinated.
All the while, sort of like kind of bardic-inspired purring to help kind of keep people calm and shit, so that they didn't have screaming kids around healers. Essentially, she got drafted into babysitting duty.
So basically, as their parent, after a while, their parents come and collect them in the morning. These kids are up early, and their parents come looking for them. And it's like, wait, where'd you go? But Mum, the tabaxi. You can talk to her later. She's probably hungry. Have you given the poor girl a chance to eat? But just
growl of stomach. Growl of stomach and a sheepish grin.
They collect their kids and take them off to get them food, and you are free to do what you want after, being abducted by children early in the morning.
Food. So yes, I'm gonna go and get food.
And you find that those set of tables that they're bringing food out of from various kitchens around the town that's set up in the town square. They've dragged a couple of the tables out from the inn to serve as benches to serve food to people, and they've got chairs, some logs, rocks, whatever people can sit on around. And you see your group there, sitting there talking to Dakin, Titus, Raven, Grimnir. No sign of Gertie or the half-elf boys.
Just gonna sort of like kind of plonk her down next to kind of nearest person with a spare seat and just sort of like kind of munch. She hasn't even changed her fur color, kind of from what she was playing with the kids. She's literally kind of multicolored splat cat.
You see several handprints in various colors on her fur. There's one purple there, one green. It looks like someone's been painting her.
I actually have a visual for this. Give me a sec.
Don't worry about it. We'll do it on your own time. We're going to keep going forward.
Tanya looks at Jadis and goes like, "It's an interesting pattern."
It's called babysitting.
I need to try that at some point. Well, as she says that, her tattoo on her neck spreads out across her whole body in different colors, patterns, trying to like match Jadis a little bit. It's obvious. It obviously still looks like a tattoo, but in the same type of colors and patterns that she sees on Jadis. She grins.
Fair enough.
Close enough. You see
Well,
all
I don't-
sorts in the Bards Guild.
I like the fur though.
Comes in useful.
The tattoo slinks back and is the normal black arcade symbol on her neck again.
Right, everyone. Is everybody here finally, apart from Gertie? And those two.
I would not recommend
oh,
waking
my-
her up until she is ready to awake.
I kind of got that vibe. Don't
Was
worry
that
about
Grimnir?
it.
That was Titus.
Oh
Yeah.
I don't do the Titus voice as well as Ed.
Well, I think the main thing is that if
I'm
anyone's
trying,
paying
really am
attention,
trying.
they identify. It's fairly easy to go, oh yeah, that's probably him.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a tone and the sound, trying to get the self-importance there. No, not self-importance, but yeah.
it's my race trait as an Englishman.
well, yeah.
Tanya agrees with Titus. He goes like, yeah, well, except if you want a fireball to your face.
well, not really.
I
Rather
mean,
have a mug of ale to my face.
Robin's like, I doubt she'd use a fireball. It's probably your beard, though. It'd be set on fire.
That sounds about right.
He
Anyway.
reaches up and touches his own beard, and there's a sort of shudder, and you realise that he's probably not speaking from just thought. He's probably speaking from experience.
Yeah.
He's probably had his beard singed a couple of times.
That wouldn't surprise me. Right, where do we think we're going to go next then? I know that furry lassie here needs to go up to Riversmeet, was it?
Yes.
Well, I could do with going further east. I could certainly do with going to Dune City.
I
and
agree.
further east, so
I mean,
I'm into
didn't
that.
our bardic friend come from that area? And in my mind, from what we saw, he seemed oddly. He seemed oddly aimed at.
Well, this is not surprising. My troop has been hired by delegates in Dune City to put on performance during the big meeting. I am supposed to meet with my troop in Riversmeet so that we be able to practice and travel together to Dune City. It is very important for me, especially as it is part of my final exam. Once I pass this, I get my gold collar. Yay! I have been working since Tiny Cub for this. This is kind of really big for me. I need this. I do
Well,
not
and
get
also-
second chance.
And also, we might find out more about maybe what this all is about. Like I said, from the attack on the cartographer by the river barges, he seemed to be very targeted.
Dakin puts up his hand. I don't mean to interrupt, but I would suggest outside the tabaxi needing to pursue what she's been working for all her life. Your only path and avenue that you seem to have any sort of idea on is that it is somehow tied to the bard, and finding out what you know of him, and finding it even more important, finding out what you don't know about him.
Right, that is a good idea. And the only place we're going to get answers, I suspect, is, well, where there's more bards, maybe.
Riversmeet.
So,
I believe Riversmeet would be our next goal.
Right, sounds like a good idea to me.
Has anyone
Titus
checked?
at this point comes back from his wandering saying, they really did a number on this place. Not a hint or clue or anything I could find. Good to see you're all here. So what's the word? Riversmeet?
Aye, gets my vote.
Yep. Although it's interesting because it's kind of interesting because we went and got the cartographers back to town as fast as possible. Has anyone checked on the barges? If there was such a great fight there, then
Barges are separate from the town.
Oh yeah, although the barges were where the cartographers got attacked.
Grumbling, you hear grumbling as a short figure barrels away in. The barges are fine. I checked on them last night. I've managed to organise to have the goblin women and children travel by that, and I will be able to make my way to Riversmeet, but to Dune City. It turns out, after all, I've organised Julius to go with them. He's a good sort.
Morning, Gertie.
I'm glad you were smart enough not to put good in front of that.
Well, look around.
Accurate.
No kidding.
Well, as far as this goes, I can say it's a better morning than it was yesterday, at least.
We're alive, I guess. So yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah, counts as a minor win. Anyway, right. We're all thinking that we go to Riversmeet, try and find out a little bit more about our bardic friend and why he was targeted so harshly.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that we got blasted and he was standing in front of us, unharmed, it seemed, glowing shield and all.
Well, as far as why he was targeted, I have a feeling it might have something to do with...
I don't like tenure. You know I don't like being interrupted, eh?
Mm.
I was talking, I paused and you jump right in. And Gertie glowers at you. As I was saying, he had this glowing arcane shield. The rogue figure just came in, punched straight through it, and it looked like a punch through him, and then he just turned to stone. I don't know if he ripped something out of him or he turned to stone and then ripped something out of him. I couldn't tell you. It happened too damn quick. But I will say we got our asses handed to us. Even with the surprise, it was all we could do to bloody survive.
Yeah, gonna need to do our homework before we come up against that guy. A lot of work to be done.
But that is in future. Right now, I need new backpack, and I should grab Sulfur's things.
You need a bag. Gertie reaches into hers and tosses you what looks like an empty bag.
Oh, thank you very much. I lost mine on the
I
way
don't
here.
use it. I don't use my old bag of holding anymore. You can have it.
I love you.
Oh, we have two bags.
That's nice, she says, sort of scooting away from you a little bit on her chair. Just as a note, don't try to put one of those into another one of those. Bad things will happen.
This I already know. There was graduation ceremony 5 years ago. It was interesting. There was lots of
Gertie winces and goes, "That's right, I heard about that. Half the class of that you got sort of, yeah, well, they didn't graduate, that's for sure.
No, they did not. Not that year, anyway. Lessons were learned. No bags of holding at graduation ceremonies. The glitter was nice, though.
Wow. After they sort of closed the black hole that was open and people were sucked into a different dimension and whatnot, yeah.
Sounds like it could be a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it
They
I
doesn't
want
kill
you to put that idea out of your mind right now. We've got
They
enough going on
wanted-
without thinking of magical weapons of mass destruction.
They wanted to create glitter bomb. They did, just a lot bigger than they thought it would be.
Gertie sort of buries her head in her hands and goes, so many idiots.
Bards. Music college. What do you expect?
I heard the dancers were in on it as well, don't give me that.
We were innocent. We were merely bystanders. You cannot prove anything.
Probably can with the right amount of arcane sort of prying.
Not anymore. It has been too long.
You say
Goldust
that, but you're
collapsed.
saying that, but
Laughter.
you assumed that we didn't sort of look into it at the time. That was a very large arcane incident.
No proof.
She just smiles.
Goldust
grinned
just
back.
absolutely pissing himself.
But training is fun. Hard, but fun. Anyway, I need to get stuff.
Aye.
Yeah, meet back here in 30 minutes with all your gear. It's time to get on the road again.
Okay.
Gertie
Gertie,
looks around. Sorry. Yes. Yes.
Gertie and Titus, may I ask some questions of you, being that you are the resident mage and cleric of the cartographers?
Raven's like, I'm here as well.
You are a alright, you can maybe help me with this question. You see, I recently it's something people don't know about me because I'm just a rich boy. But I was actually I trained as
Nobody loves me.
Seriously.
yeah. It's something people don't know about me because I'm just the rich boy. But I trained as a medic. And because of that reason, I end up going up with Lord Carrick to Dune City, and seeing his failing health one night, I prayed and I prayed, and a voice told me that they can get that, and this voice told me that, and I heard this voice telling me that I can have the power to heal him, and this voice seemed to be aligned with my family's personal goals.
Titus frowns and looks at you and goes, I have been some believe me to be the chosen of Sol. I do not see this. I have seen visions. I have never actually heard him speak to me, though.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
And Raven nods and says, my ancestors have spoken to me previously, but Lython himself, never.
I'm not quite sure who or what spoke to me, but it's interesting because I've been identified by the priest in the town as yeah, I've been identified as the priest in the town as a warlock now. Although it's interesting because I'm a warlock who specializes in healing. I was wondering if you could recommend anyone I could speak to try and get a handle on this.
Gertie goes, well, warlocking, well, that's an easy path, but, usually you're damned. You make a deal with something that has its own agenda. And you say it gives you the ability to heal.
And
People always assume that it's a darker power. It's not necessarily always the case. It could be a celestial being.
all right. Well, it's interesting because I did get the vibe that the vibe that this celestial being, if it was one, had good intentions.
Did you at any point remember making a deal?
Vaguely, it was like a dream, and one does not always remember their dreams exactly. But I intend to use my new abilities for good.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe you've entered a sort of pact.
That's the way it seems to me. And honestly, the best one for you to talk to would be your patron. Only you and they can know what's going on. No, it's kind of an odd thing.
So there's no Warlocks Guild or anything.
A warlock can't train a warlock because
Yeah. No.
their powers, even though they may seem similar, it's sourced from individual different entities most of the time. I mean, there may be some out there that have got several, say one being that has several warlocks it's got, but it comes down to knowing what it expects of you and whether you're willing to go through with what it wants. And honestly, trial and error. I'm not a warlock. I studied damn hard for the power I have.
From what I've been reading of pacts, I would caution you to be wary because these pacts usually entails that a give and take. I mean, you gain powers through the pact, but usually they expect something in return.
I am aware that it was a bargain, and reciprocation will be required in future. And I just hope that I'm strong enough I just hope that I'm strong enough and I hope that I'm strong enough when the time comes to I hope I'm strong enough when the time comes to either pay the price. Yeah. Yeah. I hope I'm strong enough when the time comes to pay the price. To pay the price if the deed is too much. Time will tell.
Who knows? As long as, honestly, if you're getting a sense of what's right and wrong from it, then you've still got free will, but there may be a price to pay. You've entered into a pact, and to a certain extent, you've given it a certain amount of power over you. To a certain extent, it's got a claw in your soul. You are not the stronger bargaining from a place of strength. It has given you something already. In exchange, you've given it your fealty and owe it. And I hope it is a noble being from a higher plane for your sake.
So do I.
But what it wants and what you can do, unless what you're doing directly conflicts with what it wants, you can do what you will with it. So you can accomplish much good with this power, even if it is a being from the lower planes.
So the Celestials are. Would I know this as a in character? If about like if the Celestial so the Celestials are the lower plane beings.
The higher planes men.
Oh,
If you think of like angels,
all right.
holier sort of things. We're not talking gods here. We're talking about beings of power that, you know.
All right. Yep. All good. I'll let.
Whereas, you know, if it was a being from the lower planes, you're talking demons or devils or whatever.
Oh, all right. So lower, higher means good or evil. Gotcha. All right. As far as and as far as that goes, Varys is going to say, Varys is going to thank these guys for his counsel and say, I'll see you guys on the barge, I guess.
Right. Well, I think we're all travelling the same way for the time being. Actually, no, you guys are going by barge. We're going direct to Dune City. And he does realise the barge is going in the other direction now, right? I've commandeered it to take the goblin women and children back to Summersford.
A bugger.
Horse as it is.
Yep, horses it is.
She did say that earlier, that she'd sort of organised
Yeah.
for it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. Do we want to start looking at taking a break? How soon do you need to sort your mum, Phil?
Oh, it's not till 1 o'clock, mate.
Okay.
But if people want to take a break for 15 or whatever, fair enough.
I mean, it is kind of a natural breakage point, and that would also give us like an hour and a bit before the next one.
No worries. Okay, we'll take 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to be 5 minutes. I need to help my mum out. So
Nah, she'll be right.
Okay, we'll take a break there, everyone. We will be back. I've got the clock in front of me. What's 15?
15 minutes will make it
10-2.
9. Yeah, it'll make it about 9:50 p.m. in Queensland.
Okay. Done and done. We will return, everybody.
all right.
In the bizzle.
Welcome back. We are returned.
Hey.
So, the group breaks up, and you all kind of watch Varys wandering down towards the barge here. And there's a short conversation. Croaking. Anyway. Brief conversation as to, does someone want to let him know?
Let him know what.
It's only because if you recall, I was told the barge wasn't going up the river anymore, so I wouldn't have done that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, no, fair enough. I'll let that go.
No. He's committed.
Commit to your RP. No, it's fine. We'll let it go. It'll be nice. I am a merciful DM. GM, whatever I am.
Storyteller.
There you go. So, after a short few minutes, you'll gather with your belongings. Jadis comes out of the inn, a small package bundled in under her arm. Pulls out her bag of holding, places that bundle in there without too much comment. You, for a moment, see the bard's small travel harp that he'd been using, and you realise that she has collected Silpha's belongings. Cartographers gather at one end, their things gathered, talking to the mayor briefly, and then seeing you really wave. Stay safe on your journeys, they call out. So guide you with his grace. Rather than shaking his head. Ancestors watch over you, is how you say it. And
Yeah.
they just glare at each other with friendly rivalry.
Good times.
Well, I hope something watches over us. We will need it.
Hey, we'll be alright.
Yeah.
Bloody horse. Anyway.
Right. No time like the present. Let's get out of here.
Hi.
We have horses? I am not walking, not again. It is a long way.
Let's ride out.
Yeah,
Let's
we got the
go.
horses, don't you worry.
You've
Do
still
we?
got the horses, yeah. They weren't exactly gifted to you, but you still have them. You haven't sort of returned them, as far as I know.
No, we've
I mean,
fixed them up, but
no one mentioned a timetable, so
All right. As far as this goes, I'm going to go up. I'm going to say maybe we shouldn't take these horses without chatting to the mayor first. I'm sure we can buy them out of our pot of gold, out of our travel,
money.
out of the party fund or something.
don't talk
Oh,
too
we will
loudly.
need-
No one said
we will
anything
need-
about a timetable.
We will need provisions for horses as well.
That's going to be a big ask for a place that's, well, having to get by with the bare minimum.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to try and get provisions along the road, just find grass and stuff until we reach the next town anyway.
I mean, we are in grasslands.
I agree with the High Elf. We'll let the mayor know about the horses. It's only right. Don't want to leave them too far out of pocket, and they need every piece they can get.
Without much effort, you find the mayor there, still supervising the supply of food and starting to try to organise work crews from people finishing up their meals to start clearing debris and start rebuilding. Yeah, Gregor, you've got this one here. Take him with you for any metal working. He's got a fine hand and a bit of tinkering. John, this one here for your carpentry. You go with John. He'll help you with the carpentry and rebuilding. And he's organising people. He's got a few people there that are skilled tradesmen to organise and run small groups of gangs of labour. And he's sort of, as people are finishing up, he's tagging people. Yeah, you're doing this. Not even giving them an option.
Excuse me, sir. Don't mean to interrupt, but we are going to be on our way. I was wondering, who do we talk to about the horses?
Oh, the horses? Oh, right. The ones we loaned you to go to the mines.
Oh, Barge is now going with goblin women.
Right. Makes sense. And a horse can go further in places that rivers don't run, I guess.
And it is much easier to travel on horse to Riversmeet than it is on foot.
Yeah, so he looks around, and he's peering here and there through the group. Look, that's not what I wanted. Francis, where's Francis? And finally spots him. Get over here! And the stableman that you talked to when you picked up the horses originally, Ferris, comes over.
Yep.
Chewing still on his food, a cup of cave in his hand. What do you want, Harris? I'm still in the middle of my breakfast. Then I'll be looking after the horses and trying to take them out to pasture to get them away from this smell of this smoke. Yeah, I know you got to take care of the animals. We'll be using them to bloody pull carts and whatnot soon enough. Can you spare the ones that these fine folk borrowed? Not spare them, I can sell them.
How much?
Normally they'd go for 75 gold.
For all of them or the one?
Per horse. There's a reason why only the rich and merchants have horses.
Oh, yes. Damn it.
But that'll include all tack and feed for a week for them.
As far as this goes, I don't think...
I've got an idea. How about we extend the rental period for fair pay? Get someone at the next town over to come back this way with them. That way, you get some gold to keep you tiding over for some essentials. We get where we need to go, and you get the horses back.
So you bring him back. Someone will bring him back from Riversmeet.
Exactly.
Intelligence check. How much would this cost?
75 gold per horse, man.
No, to have someone bring the horses back.
Well, we can take stable boy with us. He can bring horses back. Or stable man. One of villagers who is fit for travel but not much else.
Oh. He thinks, looks at you and goes, "You've done a lot of good for the town. How about we call that 100 gold all up for that, including feed to Riversmeet and back."
Deal.
Sounds much more affordable.
Hey, sounds good to me. Pay the man.
Who's the treasurer with all the gold? Because
Nod.
Everybody looks at Tanya.
Whoever was keeping the party money anyway.
Yeah, that was Tanya.
Yeah, the person with the kind of other bag of holding.
Told you guys we should have just left. No one gave us a timetable. Now this is costing us. Damn it.
Well, and the mayor looks at you. You realise I would have reported you to the authorities, and you probably would have spent time in jail.
Mayor, let's not get into what ifs and have nots. The point is that everyone is getting what they need when they need it, and we can all walk away happy.
Don't worry, I will keep her underfoot.
Plus, you got that. No one fucks with a cat. Not unless they know what's good for them.
She reaches down in her bag of holding and gathers up 100 gold, puts it in a smaller pouch, and like tosses it over. Like, here you go, 100 gold.
Catches it deftly, disappears into a pocket. I'll organise the horses and we'll see. Looks at the mayor and goes, can you organise someone to go with them? And before long,
Jesus Christ.
Are we okay?
Yeah.
I will.
Phone on silent before mine does that.
Your phone's not that bad now, I mean.
Also, Mr. Mayor, if you have any mail or messages to Riversmeet, we are going there anyway. We can deliver.
That's not a bad idea, that.
If you can get something to the I'll see what I can come up with and compose.
Okay, do we want to do a time skip for that?
Yeah. And he comes back to you with a message to be delivered to the officers of
Probably the guard there.
the Knights of Soul. You remember that there's watchtowers and there's a small barracks there for the knights in the city. Before long, you see a young gnome man, arm in a sling, come up. He goes, what the fuck are these names? Give me a tick. The name generator for gnomes is freaking horrible. That's not all, that's the same damn thing.
Dave.
Comes up and goes, hello there, my name's Kellen. I'm going to be travelling with you to the city of Riversmeet. And it takes you a second to realise what he said. He talks fast.
Can I go up to him and say, Killen, it's going to be a little hard for you to travel. Am I able to heal? Am I likely to be able to heal his arm, or?
No, fine. I can ride with no hands. It's all about the legs,
Okay. Varys says, nodding yes, I got all of that, I think.
He behind him, he doesn't have a horse so much as he has a pony. Well, I'm ready to go when you are.
Grand.
Yeah, boy.
We're also getting someone breathing on the mic.
Yep. Check your
interesting.
distance. Yeah, it's a proximity to mark thing. It happens every so often.
Just wanted to nip it in the
Yeah,
bud.
yeah. No, it's fine. So, Kellen, when you're ready, he travels out with you, and you're traveling, travel roads, obviously. And this one, this side of the river goes past several of the watchtowers that were, until recent years, manned by members of the Knights of Soul's Guard. Though, during the war, the reunification, the events of the Dark Ascension, the forces that were there were reallocated, and with the piece of elves they would never remade. They do make decent waypoints, and they are stocked for people to stay at and sleep, but they are no longer made by armed forces from the Knights of Sol.
How many days will it take us to reach
Well,
the city?
It all depends on how fast you want to travel. I mean, how hard do you want to push your horses? Pauses. How hard do you want to push your horses? It'll take. Depends on how fast you want to travel.
Probably not that hard.
Sooner rather
take
than
it.
later, but not kill horses.
Yeah. So travelling at a canter, not a gallop.
Right. Well.
If I'm looking at the map, if I'm looking at the map and based on the distances, based on the first campaign, probably going to be about, if we go south of the wall first, probably going to be about a day, day and a half. But if we
No,
go,
I've got to do the scale of it, man. With how the travel time and what that was, it really turns out Salzgard was tiny with how it was there. It's for what it was implied as to what it was and whatnot. With the travel times and whatever, it really needs to be reworked a bit, rejigged. It comes across as very tiny.
Probably going to take us up to a week.
He sits there and thinks, probably a day or two. It's we can cover about 60 miles a day on a horse. I think it's fairly close. I'd say about 3 at most.
Right.
Sounds good.
Let's get cracking then.
What do you
We're
guys
lucky
say
that-
that? What do you guys say that the next time we're heading out traveling like this, we try to find a cart instead?
Well, when the opportunity arises, we would have picked up something or taken the barge if the option was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So-
I'm just saying, with my pup here, it could pretty much drag us on a cart. He doesn't really tire.
Colwyn looks at the animal. I'm sure, and granted, I don't exactly have much schooling, but there's going to be a limit to how far they're going to push a car full of people.
He does not get exhaustion at all.
It's a strength. What's his strength then?
Yeah, that's what I was attempting to imply. Yeah.
Hang on.
Unless he is like 22 and rolls not 20. No.
and all right. And so as far as this goes, are you suggesting that Tanya build us a horse?
Could probably do that in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a strength of 14 plus 2 modifier.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just checking if that's what we're saying, because that would be interesting.
Strength of 14, really. I'd almost allow it at that. That is. Yeah.
I could pull a damn cart.
Yeah, you would be able to, but it wouldn't go too fast.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there would be.
What's the strength of a horse pulling a cart?
What is the strength of a D&D horse? This,
Oh,
we'll get into this later on. We'll get into this later on. Anyway, you proceed on the first leg of your journey. I'll get someone to roll me. Who's keeping watch as you travel?
I will keep first watch.
Is this for
Roll
camp for the
a-
night or all just travelling along?
Just travel. Just travel.
So, is it perception?
Perception, mate.
All of us, or
No, just one of yous.
Oh, sorry.
Whoever's keeping watch, which Jada said she was. Noted.
9.
So from seeing that, that's Colin and Jada sitting there. Who's driving the horse? Sorry, you're riding. So Colin and Jada are leading at the moment, keeping an eye out, and you see the forest to the south of you, the eternal great wood. The leaves whispering through the trees, sound of birds. You see the deer and a doe and her fawn grazing near the edge in the distance before it ducks back into the tree on spotting you.
You see that?
See what?
There was something in the trees. Couldn't quite make it out.
I didn't see anything.
As you're watching, drawing your attention to the trees, you see movement as a band of horsemen emerge. Varys, make a perception check for me now that your attention's been drawn to it.
Perception. 17.
You see the house colours of Gillison.
It's my family. It's my family.
Not only that, you see your older brother Emma leading them.
Everyone, don't worry. And I'd like you to meet my older brother, Emma.
Ah, cool.
And
Comes up to you and goes, "Still playing, little brother," in a cold tone. You've never been on good terms with your little brother.
I've been doing this and that.
You were meant to be with our uncle, and yet you're travelling with. He looks around. These. Then there's a real cold arrogance to his voice.
Carrick sent me. Carrick sent me on business. I'm doing his bidding. And Carrick is fine, by the way.
Always his favourite.
Yes.
They received him.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
He gives you the. If his eyes could pierce you, you'd be dead on the roadside at this point.
It's okay. It's okay, brother. I didn't mean anything, boy.
He just stares at you. There is a village here somewhere I'm meant to take my men to assist them. Where is it?
If you just want to go, if you just want to go back the way we came down, it's about how many hours away? I give
by this point you've travelled about 5 or 6 hours.
About 5 or 6 hours back the way we came. You can always just follow our hoof prints.
Doesn't even say anything. Rides off, leading the troop of Jealous and household guard with him. You see several supply pack animals there, loaded with what you assume is food. A long line of them still coming out of the woods. You get the impression that your uncle has acted very quickly to send a large amount of aid to that village. Though you also get the impression that your brother is far from the best representative to be doing this. Sorry, Jadis, I talked over you there, I believe.
I thought I kind of took a moment while you paused. I hadn't realised you'd not finished. I'm just going to lean over to Colwyn. Well, he certainly seems nice.
Family. What are you going to do?
I said Colwyn.
Oh no, that's my general response as he walks off. Sorry. I'm going to say something in Elven like, "Be nice to the town folk."
He responds in Elven as well. Eat a dick, little brother.
Sorry, what was the question you had, Becca?
Oh, I leaned towards you and sort of like kind of just whispered to you that kind of he seemed nice in a very sarcastic kind of way.
Yeah. When kind of half chuckles into his elbow.
Hey, so, Varys, your brother's a wee bit of an arsehole then.
They're all. Unfortunately, he's my brother. So
Aye,
yeah.
fair enough. Don't have any myself, but I understand. Right, let's crack on then, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord help me. Would it be safe leaving him with village?
Well, if the
Can't say we've got much
cartographers are
choice.
still there, it's going to be quite funny.
They're on the barge, mate.
No, they're not.
No, they're
Oh,
not.
I thought.
All right.
They were. You knew that they were leaving either today or tomorrow to head directly to Dune City. They hadn't quite decided. They were looking at talking to the village still when you guys left, trying to sort out what the village needed and what they still was needed. So whether they're still there or not, you don't know.
Oh, fair enough. I thought that they were going on the barge with
No,
people.
Julius
No.
was heading back with the goblin women and children, and then he was going to use magic to return to Gertie's location through some means, as you understood.
Oh, all right. As far as this goes, I'm going to reassure everyone, and I'm going to say, look. He may be like that to me, but he may be like that to me, but he's not. Although he's under orders from Carrick to be nice to the non-elven folk anyway, because he represents us.
Yeah, Kellen's like, didn't seem that way to me. He seemed like an asshole.
Yeah, if
He
somebody
is
has
to
to be
me, but that's because he's my big brother.
if somebody has to be ordered to be nice, it doesn't give great impression of base personality.
Pretty much.
Right.
Look, you don't need to apologise for him. Some men have got to own who they are. Don't worry. I won't think less of you for it.
Right, let's crack on then.
Yep, they're back on the road again.
Clip,
Oi.
clip, clop, clop.
So you continue on. I need to do a perception check as we travel forward.
Nice.
Okay. I've got a 16 there from Fanny, from Jadis. So travelling forward, you before you, as you watch the group of elven horsemen ride off, you see that Doe and her fawn come back out. It hadn't been you that startled her. It had been that group of riders. And the noises of the woods pick up again as you hear birds, small animals and whatnot moving. The eternal great wood isn't too far from where you are. The defensive line of the wall is not as in good a condition as it had been, and you are travelling right near it. And as the day progresses, you can see the first of these waykeeps that was used to defend the wall and to act as a signal tower if there was an incursion to relay down the line with signals, fire, etc. That is now a way station.
Right, that looks like a way station to me. Lad, how much daylight have we got left?
Cullen looks up and goes, this way travelers usually stop these days. It used to be used by the Knights of Solgard to protect the kingdom.
Right,
And he
well,
looks at Varys from the it's a good place to stop.
right, well, let's make it a place to stop then.
It's me.
I
And you bed down for the night. Let's get a couple of shifts for watch there. Is it, unless anyone wants to role play anything or do anything.
Thank you for saying that. There was something that I wanted to do. This is just take a once kind of like the sun's just about to go down, so in the twilight. Bear with me, just getting my notes up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find a place where the shadows are long and the light is barely visible, and I'm going to sort of sit down and just wanted to do a brief prayer. Is it pronounced Fai? Finla. Alright.
Far-eye.
Thank you.
I knew exactly what you were planning. I had it in front of me.
Yeah. Oh, Far-eye. God of the shadows. Chaos, healing, and beyond. I'm not a man of faith. All I know is that when you deal with gods, you must do so with the utmost sincerity. I don't know what happened in that cave with that beast. Whether or not you've asked us or whether or not it was blind luck, not my place to say. But I wish to come in this manner and offer my gratitude. And if I am to be your instrument, I don't ask for guidance, but very least a direction. I spoke truly with those words in that prayer. And if I am to help the downtrodden, those between the shadows and the light, I will do so. Mayhap, with what is to come, we may even need the help of the goblin kin. And I will do what is needed for them. This I speak, sincerity and truth.
Roll with religion for me.
Oh boy. Well, thankfully.
You're a wish at it.
Oh, this is getting disturbing now.
As your prayer continues, you feel like almost like those shadows take a cool weight to them and wrap around you comfortingly. And you hear almost indistinctly a soft laughter. Though it's reassuring, mirthful, joyous. But you are not sure if you've heard it or not. It's almost like the drifting wind laughing amongst the leaves.
Oh, heck. He kind of stays there for just a little bit longer and then awkwardly gets up. It's just like, oh, mother. And it's just awkwardly walking back to the camp. Feels sullied and unusual.
I was about to take a drink there, damn you.
So, Colwyn, where were you? Don't want to talk about it. Good night.
So Colin comes back to the camp, and his face is thoughtful and weird, and he avoids everybody and goes to his bedroll, faces away from everyone, tucks himself in, and just buries his face under the blanket, basically.
That's about right.
The worst thing is, as you pull that blanket up to the darkness, you feel that weight around you again, comforting, a warmth to it.
Fist in mouth, fighting down, a la Ace Rimmer.
Was there anything anyone else wanted to do? Now that we've traumatized our halfling?
Can I roll?
Jadis, I
Sorry.
was just going to kind of make it out that Jadis is helping the our guide to check the horses, check the hooves, kind of for any burrs or stones
Make
or anything
animal
like that.
handling with advantage. Since you are assisting the this
12.
um
I can pass him
yeah,
stuff.
no, that's fine. He, with his guidance, you quickly and easily take care of the horses. They're a little bit shy around you from your scent, but he reassures them, and they get to know you. Till in this moment, they are comfortable with your scent and your felineness.
Yep.
And after a short time, you return to the camp. Varys, you said you wanted to sort something?
Alright, this is just a bit of roleplay. Anyone who's watching Varys, he pulls out this book, and the language, I'm guessing, is completely alien to everyone. It looks Elven-ish, but anyone who understands Elven, it looks like complete gibberish.
What's this from? This is a feature talk.
Yes, this is the feed I took. Yeah, and he pulls out this book his carrot gave him, and he's looking at this book puzzled, and you see like a glint in his eye, like, oh yes, this is that, and he starts like touching the book tactily and just like starts to understand it, and about an hour later, he says, "Oh, even better." Stands up, puts the book down, mutters something, and steps through the air 30 feet away.
Okay.
And then says, "Cool. Fucking cool."
This being a Sylvan book, roll a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom.
Okay, it's fine.
Did I notice anything? Don't know.
The hell? He's teleporting. What the?
Alice, did
Hey.
you just teleport across the room?
I think I did. I was given
Good work.
I was given this book by my by my uncle, and it's funny because everyone in my family is given this book, but no one's really explained what it is. But I've gotten little bits of it here and there, and I just managed to get a chunk of it.
Well,
It seems like it's written in gibberish, but yeah, it's like really, really old Elven.
the only writings I'm bothered about are charts, so, I'm not a great reader. You might have noticed. I talk with my axe. But it's impressive nonetheless. It could come in useful.
Oh yes, and when you talk loudly. With your
Oh.
axe.
Very. I shout a bit.
Yes.
What's a habit?
During the night, I'm going to close my eyes and send out Millie to on my watch as well. But yeah.
So Millie flies out, does a circle around, and then sits at the top of this tower, keeping watch, like a tiny draconic sentry.
Yeah, Golder will sort of basically take first watch and then get his head down.
Pretty sure the 10-year-old set her Steel Defender
Steel
patrolling again.
Defender is always on patrol.
So Golder, I'll get Millie, Steel Defender, and Golder for the first watch making a perception.
Mm-hmm.
Or 12.
Steel Defender, that would be...
Millie gets distracted by something and has a snack. Roll of 6.
Millie curls up and goes to sleep. Actually, she starts bloody defleeing herself. Too busy grooming herself.
D20.
At least I'm trying to pay
Itself.
attention.
6, 7, 8. 8 for Steel Defender perception.
Oh, for God's sake.
Golder, bored in the middle of the night, watching the Steel Defender go past, picks up a stick and throws it. Steel Defender chases it, brings it back, throws it again. Meanwhile, every time it runs off, Golder's still maintaining watch. But your Steel Defender is too busy playing fetch to pay any attention to anything.
I think its passive perception is better. Its
My
passive perception is
perception's
14.
better than my perception check.
Yeah, so is Millie's.
What watch is Gertie taking? Not
Gertie.
Gertie, Jadis.
It's entirely up to you. That's the first watch. Millie and the Steel Defender will be up all night regardless because they don't sleep.
Actually, I should have rolled with advantage, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Too late now?
Yep.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'll take last
Can't
watch
remember.
then.
Okay. So who's taking second watch?
I'll take second watch.
Golden
Right,
is
I wake you
you.
up then.
Yep. You get up 10.
10.
You woke up a little early and you were watching your Steel Defender play fetch with the dwarf. And it's kind of doing the dog thing, getting down low on its front feet, shaking the stick, basically asking you to throw it, pawing at your knee, and okay.
Golder, I don't think he's going to be able to keep watch if you keep doing that.
Oh, he's got to have some fun, haven't you, pup? And then I just walk over to my bed and then just crash out.
Tanya, make a... Oh, that was for the Steel Defender, was it? Or have you done the Steel Defender again?
No, that was for me, so I'm doing the Steel Defender again.
Varys, make another roll for Millie.
This time I'll do 2 of them.
12 for Steel Defender and 10 for me.
At a command, it drops a stick, sits beside you, staring at it into the darkness.
Oh, natural 20 on the first one. So
Are you awake, or is that for?
I'm probably asleep on the second one, and Millie's.
I thought you
Struck.
didn't sleep.
Oh, I'm probably meditating.
So
For
why is Millie getting advantage?
Because Millie gets advantage on where is it? The pseudo keen senses. The pseudo dragon has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight, hearing, or smell.
Okay. Did not realise. Well done.
I only just read that myself, so yes.
So Millie tracks every little movement out there, and you constantly get emotional pings, images sent directly into your head, Tenya, as she realises you're on watch. Of there was a mouse that walked past, there was a bird that flew past. It is distracting, but you are aware through Millie of every last thing that has moved within a few hundred feet of the tower.
All right. It's good.
Your watch passes without event.
I need to take a quick piss.
Righto. Who's taking the third watch? Final watch, I think, was Jadis, wasn't it?
Yep.
So, last watch coming up into it, Jadis. Another roll for Millie and the Steel Defender. Steel Defender will be done when it gets back.
So am I rolling perception, am I?
Perception, please.
All right.
That
5.
20.
Damn.
Kitty senses.
Ears raised and cocked. You listen to every last sound. Watch every movement from the. Do you go up to the top of the tower, or do you do it from the doorway, or do you just? Because you can actually get up to the top of the tower as a lookout.
On the top of the tower.
So you go up to the top of the tower and absently start scratching Millie behind the ears, and the dragon is just ecstatic and, oh, that's the right spot. And absent-mindedly, because you are so hyper-focused on what's around you, you don't realise that she is staring at you the entire hour, couple of hours, adoringly. Incident passes without incident, and you watch as the sun starts to rise at this tail end of the night.
One second.
You hear, sorry. Sorry, Ben.
I was eating a chicken nugget.
Mhm.
When the sun starts to rise, I'll stoke up the campfire a bit and start making preps for breakfast.
Okay, so Varys, after your 4 hours of meditation, you spend a couple of final hours in quiet reflection, and the smell of the fire being stoked up in the fireplace, see sense of movement. You watch come to awareness from your meditation to see Jadis starting to prepare the morning, the camp for the morning, and to prepare a meal for.
Morning, Jadis. Need a hand with that?
No, it is fine. I have it.
All right, just offering to. I'm just offering to. I'm just offering to do my bit.
Oh!
You wake up
Ugh.
to shadow and light starting to filter in. That sense of that clinging shadow, whether it's a figment of your imagination or a reality, is gone. The shadows are just shadows. For someone in your line of work, the shadows can be friendly, but they also possess dangers.
Yep. A night is most definitely dark and full of dangers.
The smell of cave hits your nose.
Ah. Yeah, Carve's good. Carve's good. Ah. Is the pot still full?
Freshly brewed, my friend, freshly brewed.
I'll get someone to mark off, probably you, Jada, since you're preparing the meal, mark off the rations.
Yep.
And it's, again, much similar to what you had in the village on that final day. It's a simple fare, though, feeling.
Right.
And the smell of it fills that small main chamber that you slept in, rather than sleeping in the barracks upstairs. The quarters for the guards that had been stationed here have been disused for a while. I mean, people when they come through do try to tidy them up, maintain them, but over time there's a growing sense of mildew, musky scent to them
A
as the
nerd's
moisture's
bedroom.
got in. Okay,
Sorry.
so most people do as you did, stay in the main chamber at the bottom of it. And all and sundry, you smell the scent of cave and breakfast cooking as it fills the chamber.
Oh, I can't wait to
Get
be out
cook
on the road
afternoons out,
again.
guys. Sorry, Ed, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say that Colwyn is acting tetchier than usual. He's just very, very keen to get out on the road. Well, and he's been able to shake some of only possibly the second religious experience he's had in his life, possibly. It's just like, need to move, need to think, need to let this settle.
Those big rolls will do it to you, mate.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for or what you attempt. You might just get it.
Is everything all right, Colin? I just rolled a 20 on my perception. On a perception on.
It'd be
you.
insight. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
perception, it'd be insight.
Oh well,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Hold 1 second. If you're curious, ask me first because it might not always be what you think it is to roll.
Yeah.
Sorry, as far as I was going to say perception to see that he was acting weird, and then insight to see if I can work it out.
Still insight.
No, it'd be still
No,
straight.
sorry,
You
inside.
don't multi-roll stuff, man.
Sorry, my apologies then.
Yeah.
All right, I see nothing. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
But general rule: ask first, and don't
Sorry.
just roll out of the blue. So I
Oh,
know
yeah.
what you. So we all know what's going on before you do it.
I was just trying to see if I noticed it
Yeah, yeah,
first.
you're right.
That's all before I said or did
I
anything.
mean,
My apologies.
if you want to do a sort of personal roll, that's a different thing, man. I
I'm
mean, I
just
think
gonna.
you can do roll to self. Eh?
Sorry, carry on.
No, you go on.
I was just gonna say I just kind of passed Colin a kind of fairly hefty cup of coffee and give his shoulder a squeeze.
Mhm.
he gives this sort of small, meek little smile. Nods. Thanks. Just a rough night. Yes, the events of the last few days have caught up with me.
No need for explanations. Tis you.
Calder. I think you got it talked over there right at the start as well.
Hey, no worries. Right. Ah. Well, that was a decent kit. Right. Ooh, Jadis, you star. Right. Looks like there's some grub and a bit of something to drink. That will do me nicely. Lovely. Plonks himself down and eats and drinks coffee.
Do you need to go
Because
sort your mum very soon or no?
very soon, yes.
Yep.
So
For
I'll go do that now, actually.
Yep.
And obviously I'll be back in 5 or
Okay.
10, something like that.
Too easy, Jadis. Sorry, we kept interrupting you.
that's all right. I was just say, for the record, breakfast consists of some sweetened porridge, smoked bacon, and a couple of sausages for whoever wants them.
Nice.
Ooh, porridge with honey, nice. Because we have honey in the backpack.
Yes.
Oh
I have,
yeah, we do.
I have in the bag of holding. I have. What
Like I
was
said,
it?
I did say sweetened kind of porridge. It wasn't exactly sugar I put in there.
It's
Yeah.
a jar of honey.
There is when you check, there's less in the jar than there was previously.
Well, I've had no reason to check it yet. So. Wait, does that mean Jada's had snuck her paws into the bag of holding while I was asleep?
You don't know.
You were asleep.
I was asleep.
We were on a break. Anyway, yeah. Colin is sort of finished shaking himself off and is clearly keen to get back on the road.
Yep.
Keelan gets up and comes over, a cup of cover. You notice now that you're away from town, that sling has been put away. Both arms working fine. Oh, that's all right. Could have been a grub. Thanks for that. And pauses as you all look at him and eyes go wide. Belatedly puts her arm back in the sling.
Keep it out of sling. We may need it.
There's a reason he didn't ask for the healing.
Well, I'm going to need to nip off for a moment as well. Be right back.
No worries. So you start tidying up the camp, gathering your belongings, sorting things out, ready to proceed for the day as you finish your breakfast, tidying up the way station, former guard tower, as you prepare to face the day's journey. Do you want to start proceeding with that, or would you like to wait? Never mind. We've got a Gelder back. It's just Ed that's AFK.
Never mind.
We'll
You
keep
wanna-
pushing ahead.
All right.
We're just one down. It happens.
Planning.
It is just mostly a travel episode anyway.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a downtime episode, basically, for you guys after the intensity of action you've had
Well,
for the
yeah.
most part with the last couple of sessions. So they've been pretty full on.
Absolutely.
It's one of those anime beach episodes.
Basically, it's a trail ride episode. You know, you're going through down the trail on the horses, having a chat, just a nice, easy character development RP sort of space.
Nothing wrong with that.
Basically, so you guys can bond and sort of knock them back in. I was just explaining that it is. I think Lord described it as an anime beach episode. Basically, it's an RP development space after the how full on it's been the last couple of sessions. I promise I'm not going to spring anything nasty on you. Honest Ash. The paranoia increases by 5 notches.
Could have sworn I just saw a load of pigs fly past the window.
Roll initiative, no. No. So you clean up this space in preparation for the next band to come through. You go outside, bring some wood in, and as the fireplace was when you found it pre-prepared, ready to light, you prepare a space there ready for the next band of travellers to come in.
Right, leave as you find.
Mm-hmm.
Go out. Small stable there where you kept your horses overnight. Again, they've had a peaceful night.
I'm going to go up and try and precipitate some of those beds to get them a little less moldy as well.
Roll a straight arcana for me.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd ask that.
Mm-hmm.
Skills, Arcana. 11.
Leaving them, they smell clean, fresh, like they've been either brand new or freshly washed. More than serviceable. You regret not looking into it last night and enjoying a comfortable rest in these beds. 2020 hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Golden doesn't really care. He's used to sleeping on the ship.
I was going to say, for him, the whole sort of lack of movement has been disturbing and difficult. It made it difficult for him to sleep.
Yep.
The sea hasn't been
man.
rocking him to sleep. You begin your day's journey, riding out. Is there any RP or development anyone wants to do as they travel?
Not at this stage.
Well, the gentle rocking of the horse.
Just get part way down the road and just.
Roll a wisdom save for me, Gelder, if that's the case.
Wisdom save. 14. It's probably all right.
You manage to maintain focus, though. This is the comfiest you've felt since you came to dry land.
Mhm.
The movement, while it's not the same, there's a certain rolling quality that is familiar to you.
Mhm.
As the day progresses, I will get who's on lookout to the first start of this day.
Well, it
I
ain't me.
am at the
I'll
front.
have a look. I'll be
So Jade is Centennia,
sure.
because but
19.
Jadis was saying
Nine.
something you talked
8.
over.
Aye.
So
18.
Jadis bringing up the rear. Jadis leading the group. Tenya off to one side, scanning, keeping an eye on the wood. As things have changed, but things have not changed as well. Varys is aware that yes, there is peace for elves, but there are still things in the forest. It is a wild forest still. You do see at one point several shapes moving in there. Large, powerfully built. You can't quite make out what they are, but they fade into the forest. You're not a large group, but you're large enough that whatever is there doesn't want to really push their luck. As you travel, biggest thing you notice is that unseasonable chill that you've gotten people in Solsgard and Earthus had gotten used to over the past 20 odd years or more. There is a heat to the day, a dry, blistering heat that just is growing. The chill that had been there, that for you is normal, these now just is vanished due to what is to you an unseasonable heat.
He kind of feels like out of season.
For you, yes.
She kind of like opens up her opens up like the top button of her robe and like pulls down a bit on her scarf. Like it's getting a bit heated, isn't it?
Aye, not unpleasant though.
You know, it feels kind of like off season, don't you think?
Golda,
Sorry, go on.
Golda, what's your age on Colin actually? How old's he?
Early 30s.
Early 30s. Colin, Jadis, Golda. You are old enough that you remember from. You'd have been about 20, Golda.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it was like this. This is what it used to be like. This is what the weather should have been like. Jadis, Colin, you remember from when you were young, 10, 13. You remember days like this in the past. And then that weird cold had come in and had persisted until now. Something has changed to change that. Whatever had caused it has diminished.
Well, life on the sea for Golda, it gets rougher, it gets mistier, and there's plenty of heat as well when he's
You've
travelling
been
about.
plenty of different
so,
places. You've experienced all sorts of weather.
yeah.
Roll a history check for me for Golda.
Righto. Probably not going to end well. No.
No.
I mean, Tanya is pretty learned.
No, this was more of a travelling thing.
Okay.
I'll leave it there. We'll come back to that at some point.
Yeah.
So you travel forward, and the day gets hotter and hotter. You drink water more frequently, and for the younger members of the party, Varys especially would remember that even in the forest, it wasn't. This is closer to what the weather should be.
What would I need to do or check just to sort of in character's mind, just thinking, oh God, is there something on the horizon? Has someone started a fire, or is there some kind of magical feat abroad?
Well, that's is that something you're bringing up as a query, or
Yes.
so you're talking amongst yourself? Colin queries the possibility of divine or arcane sort of intervention in the weather, not being practiced in arcana.
Yeah. He's
It,
ignorant.
it's something he's putting to the more magical members of the group, the more studied members of the group. Tenya, Jadis, Varys. Varys, not so
Oh,
much with the study, but the affinity for it that he has gained.
Yeah.
no, this is. I don't remember this weather from Cub. This is normal.
Hasn't been this nice in what 20 years. Yes.
I mean, Tanya is pretty learned, and she also has dirty.
Tenya's what, 20 somethings?
23.
So
She's
she
studying.
wouldn't
She's
really,
learned.
yeah, but personally she wouldn't have remembered. She would just remember the cold. It would have been felt more the norm for her than this.
Yeah, but she would probably know that the cold that we have had is not
Gertie
normal.
would have spoken of it, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a Arcana for me, or a history.
I'll go. I will. Either one is fine by me because I've got +5 on both.
Mhm.
So just go. Never mind. 11. What is with my rolls today?
You remember Gertie saying, "There's no sense of the arcane to it, as such on a larger scale. What you do get is a sense of something missing from it, a drawing back, a listening of something.
All right, like
So it's
something
not
that has been there
something
for
that
20 odd
is
years.
something that is a ward on a vast scale somewhere that is released, that something had been held back or put in place."
So I kind of like get a sense that whatever has been in the air for 20 odd years has kind of like been released.
That something has been, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she like sits there while they're writing, thinking a little bit, and I'm like, well, maybe this is not a bad thing. From what I've heard from Gertie, the last 20 or so years has been usually cold. Maybe I don't really sense that sense of the cold that I've sensed all these years. It feels like something's let up. Maybe.
That's a lot of senses there, lassie. I'm just enjoying the sunshine. It's lovely.
Yeah, well, I do get the feeling this might be actually more normal.
Well, it could quite possibly. Suppose it reminds me a bit of when I was a kid, but I don't remember that much. But I was too busy sailing.
Yeah,
Weather changes on the drop of a hat.
The question
Ah.
though is, if whatever has been keeping it cold all these years, if that has been released or let up, why has it happened now? What caused it?
I think this is beyond us to investigate. We
I
have
think you're
enough
probably
troubles,
right.
and no need to look into more mysteries. We have a job to do already. Maybe next one.
Well, as far as this goes, we can always mention it to the cartographers when, as soon as we get further along, and maybe they'll have knowledge about this. But other than that,
Note it for
not a bad
later,
idea.
right?
exactly.
All right.
Oh, still got another day and a half's worth of travel. Let's get it done.
Oh, I dread to think how the northern boys will feel it in this heat.
Grimnir will
Hot.
just drink a bit more, that's all. And aye, hot.
You proceed through the rest of the day, and towards the evening it starts to cool back down. And you see, again, the next watchtower. It's based at least a day apart.
Right. Probably possibly the last one that we get to. I don't know. Laddie, this a good place to stop?
Looks at the sun, looks at you. Well, this is where we usually stop, but it's about a half a day, depending on travel and what happens. Riversmeet to the wave gate.
Yeah, let's take our time a little. Let's us all recover. Right. And this time, Varys, can you check out the bunks and see if they're serviceable?
Yeah, give me a sec.
I'll say with your practice and getting it right last time, without much effort, you restore them to a serviceable condition through
Top
your
work.
arcane means.
Can't do much. I can't do much to the frames, but I got rid of the mold. There you go.
Perfectly reasonable.
Lovely stuff.
Only I could figure out a way of making it rock.
Can you?
I'm not
Investigation
sharing a
check.
bed with you.
Golden, make an investigation check for me.
12.
You find tucked away in one of the storerooms a hammock.
What condition's it in?
Old.
Serviceable?
All right then, I'll string up the hammock.
It rocks and sways perfectly.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'll take first watch because I know I'm going to get a good night's kip in this afterwards.
I'll take second then.
I will
Um,
take
yeah.
third watch.
Pop's always
Excellent.
watching.
Right, in that case, I'll go over, start the fire, and grab a few bits and bats to start making the evening meal.
Before we get into the checks, does anyone want to do any RP development, character development, questions, thoughts?
Is there any spot where, for example, if someone climbed a tree or went to the top of a hill, they'd be able to see the town or city from here in the dying light?
You can certainly try. The highest point around would probably be the top of the tower. It is a proper tower, defensible tower, used with it's even small actual palisade around it. It was a defensible position to defend against the elves during the darker times on the border. So you have access from the roof as an archery platform originally.
I'm gonna
Look
I'm
at
gonna go and take a look. Holy crap!
Ooh,
as the,
nice.
as the darkness closes in, you see in the very, very, very far distance nothing.
Nothing.
It's very specific.
You're still miles away, man. You're still a half day's travel by horse away.
Just curious. In part because the possible expectation of there being a signal fire on there, that the town could see. Oh look, there's the lights. The beacons are lit. But yeah, if there's nothing,
It's still only dusk. As the sun goes down, you're staring. Hopefully, nothing. Then very, very, very faintly squinting, you see one light, two light, and one brighter light from some point in the distance, whether it's a tower or the city of Riversmeet, you do not know. But the darkness closes in and you are surrounded by blackness. You watch in the distance these few distant, very faint, almost imperceptible lights.
well, there it is. That's reassuring.
Tanya kind of like sits down by herself for a minute, and she remembers how Gertie was talking about how she was able to like sense the dodecahedron. She kind of like sits there, closing her eyes a bit, like trying to figure out how did Gertie do that? Would I be able to? And she tries to like close her
Good.
eyes and focus a little bit and see if she can get like a sense of it.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
10. What is with my rolls?
You recall that after sitting there for a moment, staring at the inside of your eyelids, you finally recall that Gertie mentioned that she had wards placed on her.
Makes sense. Damn it.
Jadis is just going to get something to eat and then kind of bunk down until her shift.
So who was first shift?
Me.
Varus, Golda, was there anything that you wanted to do before we get into the watches?
I'm just gonna keep.
No.
I'm just gonna keep reading my book for a little bit, and then I'll
Okay.
probably I'll probably sit on in the first watch and keep Millie out for the rest of the night as well.
Okay, Varus, you're in that book. I want you to roll a wisdom for me.
$13.
You see mention in there of dryads and of trees brought from the Feywild. Of saplings brought at the dawn of time to this world. You read that one survived the transition and took seed here and grew. And part of you wonders if that was the heartwood tree that you know.
Ooh. Interesting. I take it
Golda,
you'll be wanting a perception check, Ash?
please, mate.
Alrighty then. Oh dear. Yeah, not paying attention, Golda, today. He's dreaming about that hammock.
Sitting up on the top of the tower, you put your back to the wall surrounding the top of the keep, not even really looking out, watching the stars, trying to check their position, getting caught up, trying to calculate where you are in regards to where you were with the ship and the direction you have travelled from it,
Mm-hmm.
where you lost your ship.
Yep.
Do you want Millie's rolls?
Millie and the defender, please. You also said that you'd be up for the first part of this, but you were caught up in the book doing that, were you, or were you actually
Yeah.
keeping watch? Okay.
19 from Millie.
5.
Okay. Steel defender again comes up the stairs, sits down, puts its head in Golda's lap, just solely spending time with him. This dwarf is a bad influence on your steel defender.
Yeah, I am changing. I'm changing dice.
No
I'm
worries.
not surprised. Man. Jesus, your rolls.
My roll has been terrible today.
Your rolls last
Well-
weekend were brilliant, though, so it
Yeah, true.
happens. Varys, Millie chirps, watches the pair of them, scratches her head a little bit, and then takes sole responsibility for making sure that you're all safe tonight for the first watch. Time passes, and it passes without incident.
Right. I go down and wake up the next person and very gratefully get into the hammock.
Okay.
Instant sleep. Deep.
Who's got the second watch?
Coleman, wasn't it?
The scoundrel of Summerford.
Are you there, Ed?
Yes?
Did you have the second watch there, sir?
Yes, I did. Sorry. It's a million miles away.
Zoning out. Zoning out, yeah, it's fine. I've done it before.
15, not bad.
Tenure, Ferris, for your minions.
Let's see if the dice change
Oh,
does
I-
anything.
20.
Natural 1, yeah.
Yeah. So
has he still defended just curled up underneath where
Colin,
my hammock is?
you watch as the steel defender follows Golda back downstairs, and that's the last you see it for your shift. Millie curls up on your shoulders again, chirping in your ear, and you get flashes of image of things she sees, and she sees so much of. You watch as an image of a bird flying across, flits through your mind, a mouse there, an owl, and she notices it before you do, but it draws your attention to it, and you see what moments after she sends it. Oh, yep, that's what she's seeing there. Oh, there's a movement there. Okay, yep. Wow, this little dragon is on the ball. She is spotting everything out there. But, again, passes almost without incident. At one point, towards midnight, as time goes by, you see a torch travelling down the road, past the way station. 1 torch, 2 torches, 3, a small band of horsemen travelling through the night. They make their way past the watchtower, the waypoint, the wayfarers rest. But they don't stop. They don't seem to notice you there, and they continue down the road.
The horsemen, what race would you say they are?
Millie darts down. Roll a stealth for me as she gets closer to inspect them. With her perception, she would have went and had a very good look at them.
Yeah, give me just gonna quickly work out where extra creatures, what she gets on stealth.
Make sure you have it there available, man.
Sorry, stealth +4.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Nat 20.
Nice.
24. Super stealth. That dragon is awesome. Best member of the party this week.
Oh, hell yes.
Flies past. She transmits to Colin images of elven riders. The colours, you can't make them out. The patterns you don't recognise, as you don't really know the elves. They seem similar to the riders you saw the other day. The image of the man leading them is indeed that rude git. It is the older brother of Varus, pushing his men through the night.
And sorry, which direction were they riding?
Towards Riversmeet. The band is much smaller now. And they're travelling on towards Riversmeet.
Right, I've got no choice. I've got to go and wake Varus. Go up, give him a shake.
Hey.
Tell you what, the eyes that you've got on that creature of yours, pretty damn good. Just caught your...
Go.
Sorry, you say your thing.
Millie is kind of cool, isn't she?
Damn
I don't know if
straight.
she's a she, but yes. Go on.
Just caught your brother and what remains of his crew riding like their lives depended on it 2 hours past the place and on to town. There's trouble on the wind. Now, you know him better than anyone here. He wouldn't hightail it at the first sign of trouble, would he?
Would he? Given that my brother was invented a week ago?
He wouldn't.
No.
He probably wouldn't, man. I mean, he's probably dropped off the group, and now he's hightailing it towards Dune City.
He's not really the skittish type, but his orders were probably to drop off and get the repairs started in the town, and then get back to Dune City.
You were aware that he was bid to be heading towards Dune City to attend your uncle after the attack on him.
Yep.
that he was
Yeah.
bringing more guards to reinforce what was there.
Yeah, you may not have heard about this, but although you may not have heard this, although there was an attempt on Lord Carrick's life in Dune City about a month back. I'm guessing about a month back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was actually right there. I saw it with my own eyes, and this is when I started firing magical bolts and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
And,
so-
and so there was always a plan to send more guards and backup, and ammo was one of them.
So what are the odds that he has literally just dropped the supplies he was sent with off, and it's like, fuck you all, I'm going home to keep an eye on the family. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Pretty good.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Which one of us?
No, Varus.
Sorry.
Hang on. How to the correct page? 8.
It is odd that he's just dropped what he's done. He's just dropped them off, and for him to be pushing his men and their horses this hard, this late, is very odd. It's not something you or your oldest brother would have done.
Seems a little weird. But
You think Millie can catch up with him? See if we can find out what he's running from. Could be crucial.
She could, but she wouldn't be able to relay anything. Because 100 feet maximum. She could relay once she got back.
yeah, and as far as that goes, I'm a little bit afraid exactly what they do when they see this pseudo dragon come out of nowhere and sneak up on him too. I like Millie. What can I say?
All right, point is made. Thought it might be worth a punt, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Varus, roll a wisdom for me.
16.
From what you discussed with your patron about Millie, you're aware that yes, while she can die, she doesn't die as such. She just gets sent back to her plane of reality, the Feywild, and you can resummon her.
Yeah, but I also like Millie, and let's say there's a little bit of an emotional attachment.
Emotional support, pseudo dragons people.
Yeah. As far as that, because there's a little bit of attachment, and I do realize that Millie can, for want of a better term, come back from the dead. But I'm gonna play it like he cares about Millie.
Okay. From atop Colin's shoulders, she chirps and snuggles into his shoulders and nuzzles at his ear a bit.
I give it pets as best I can, like stroking a chicken. Well, we'll fill in the gang in the morning. No point waking them now. Just wanted you to know.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We can probably fill in Jadis because she'll be doing last watch. So.
Yeah, I will. In fact, I'll do that now. Jairus, it's time.
Yes, I am up. I promise I am up. She kind of like Undertaker kind of wrestling style kind of lurches up into a seated position.
I got you. Listen, before I turn in, with Preacher's help, Millie's help. Sorry, Millie. I caught our high elf's brother hightailing it back to the city with what was left of his crew. Looks like.
So he just dumped those people to do all the hard work and is fucked off. Not surprising. Clocked it immediately. Arsehole.
Yeah, I think that's possibly best case scenario, if you get my meaning.
You think something funny?
I think that you never know until you confront it. There's potentially more to it than meet the eye, or maybe it is what it is. Given what's been happening these past few days, I'm more open to suspicion.
We can but watch and see.
True enough. Anyway, let us know if there is a horde of creatures going after him.
There's a
But
horde of creatures going after him. I will laugh and munch on something snacky.
Am I still up and hearing this, or I've probably gone back to bed?
yeah, you probably have gone back to bed.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to put actions in your characters' thingies, but
Yeah, I know.
Colwyn stifles a chuckle and looks around just to make sure that Varys hasn't heard. Or going, I wouldn't blame you. But
If I notice anything, I will say. Do not worry.
of course, gives her shoulder a squeeze. I'll see you in the morning.
I will see you in morning.
He rolls up, flops himself in the bed, and checks out.
So you make your way up to the top of the tower to begin your watch. Again, Jadis, Millie, Defender.
Oh, please, 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 please.
Yup.
Not bad.
14. 14.
Yeah, I got an 8.
15.
Okay,
This news
so,
about his brother going to Riversmeet has me distracted.
so you watch towards Riversmeet, and you don't see the torches that he spoke of that they were using, and you wonder why, knowing Varys, they were using torches, possibly for the horse's eyesight, and you're distracted watching the Steel Defender patrolling around the base of the tower. The little silver dragon riding on his head, both of them keeping watch. From the base of the tower, you hear a challenging growl and a chirp.
I look down.
You see a dark shape facing the Steel Defender, growls back at them, and then starts as Millie flits at its face and it runs off. Whatever it was, yowling.
I stay at my post.
You could almost swear that you hear the Steel Defender laugh in a canine-esque sort of way, and a little, almost victorious little chirp from the pseudo dragon as they start patrolling again. The rest of the night passes without incident.
Golder gets up after his rest. After the best night's sleep he's had in ages.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Third watch. Dark figure is a dark figure comes up to the tower, and the Steel Defender / Millie scare it off. On the second watch, Aimer rides through the night towards Riversmeet.
He was there for that one.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
It was his
Yeah,
watch.
All right.
I was there for that.
He was definitely there for that.
Look, I'm just going to say there is a reason why I write down notes, because otherwise I'll fucking forget it.
I was asking because I had to use the facilities while Becca was just
all
passing
good.
over. Well, it was literally just to catch up on that bit.
Yep, all good.
Anyway.
Somebody can
Yep.
poke with fire. But Golder's in a very good mood this morning.
You come down from your watch to Jadis to find Golder stirring the coals and getting the fire going.
Is third watch the last watch, or is there a fourth
I'm only
watch?
doing it 1, 2, 3.
Oh, right, okay.
It gets a
Usually
bit
the
tedious
4 hour,
otherwise.
usually the 4 hour slots.
Yep.
And yeah, standard 12-hour watch. So then everybody can get 8 hours in. You see, through that the night.
Yep.
And if you, otherwise it drags on too much, especially on these little lore fillers and building things. I mean, if you weren't in fortified sort of things, it could be is something going to come and try and eat them?
Yep.
Probably.
That, and honestly, that creature that was down there had no way of getting in it, unless it knew how to open a door, which is probably potentially barred by you at this point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also on the second level in the quarters too, so...
Yeah.
Good morning, my friend. Did you have pleasant sleep?
Oh, best sleep I've had in a long time. I'm so used to a hammock. It moves, it sways. It's just like being on board.
And so I'm guessing, and so I'm guessing, you're going to be taking it with you. Taking it with you?
Aye.
Not even a question.
That is coming with me. I will leave my sleeping role here for other people, but that is coming with me.
Sounds like a fair trade.
Any chance you could just give it a quick spruce up for me, just to make sure everything's shipshape?
Unfortunately, I can only get rid of mold. You may need to talk to Tanya about mending the rope a little bit.
That'll do. Just get a good clean.
Are there any tears or something like that in it?
It is a little worse for wear. It could do a bit of mending, but overall it is fairly solid still.
Yeah, I'll just cast mending on it to get it in like 100% ship shape.
Oh, Tanya, you're a star. Here, have some porridge.
Thank you.
And coffee. I'm in such a good mood this morning.
I'm not sure if I mentioned about and I relay brother riding through the night stuffs. Possible thingies.
So Colwyn, coming down, informs you of Gillis and Amir riding through the night. A small group, a contingent, maybe a third of what he had with him. The bulk of them having remained in Honey Heath to assist them.
That we know of.
That you know of.
Where's the trust? Come on. Sorry, go.
We're not likely to trust the
Your,
elves.
your brother's an arsehole. I don't trust arseholes.
Oh,
True.
They
that's
tend to
brother or Varus's brother?
they tend to smell and kind of spew unpleasant shit.
Well, in the D&D world, apparently there's no such thing as a hammock. It's not on the equipment list.
No, that's right.
I'll just I've got
Just
a hammock.
leave
but
it as
it's
your
counted
bedroll,
as-
man, and you've got a hammock.
I'm pretty sure you should be able to customize the bedroll and rename it a
Yeah.
hammock.
I'll have a look at it at some point.
It's a flavour thing anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It is.
No need to get too tied down with the minutiae.
Very true.
So is there
But,
anything
yeah.
anyone wanted to cover for the morning, starting from the bottom? I've got this here in front of me.
I'm good for now.
Not the bottom. You may be
Believe
a
it or
bottom,
not.
but you're not the bottom.
Boom, boom.
He's got you pegged.
No, I don't.
Oh!
Oh, really?
Anyway, let's keep it to
Next.
at least reasonable so we don't get banned completely from YouTube. Varus, was there anything that you wanted to cover there? No? Okay.
No, I'm right.
Lord, he said no. Jadis.
No, she's good. She's just gonna sort of like kind of pretty up her fur color. So
Mm-hmm. Golda. Was there anything you wanted to, any character
No.
development or whatever? No? Colwyn.
Not at this stage. He's just keen
Okay.
to get on into the town.
So again, you clean up the way station the best you can to leave it as you found it, which seems to be the general rule, and you set out for the day. Who's gotten the first watch on travel?
I'll take lead or take point.
Okay. So roll a perception. Does anyone want to do a flank perception or a?
Yes. Yes.
Millie's
Okay.
probably going to be
21.
floating around worst case scenario, but
Mhm.
yeah.
9.
Jadis, looking around you again, keep an eye on the forest, keep an eye on the general terrain. You see signs of the horse tracks from last night. Again, that heat starts to build through the day. But the morning passes without incident.
Lovely.
And it is a really nice day, even in spite of that warmth in your native fur coat. I'll get a midday perception.
22.
Okay.
Or natural 1.
Really?
I'll do one for Millie in a sec.
So we've got a 22 and a 4. So, Jadis, because you are paranoid about it, because you've been thinking about it since Colin mentioned it, you catch the sound of the horses before you see them come charging up the hill. You'd almost been expecting it. You watch them on approach, you recognize them. This is that small band of elven riders led by Emir. You warn the others that are approaching, but you are still surprised when you see that they have their weapons drawn.
My axe comes out straight away.
Do you see them?
Yeah, Jadis, I just got through saying Jadis let you know that they're coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's quite a welcome for us. What
Pulls
seems to
out-
be the issue?
Doesn't say anything. Roll initiative.
Ooh.
Okay,
9.
is this going to be well?
Actually, we'll save it for next week because we'll wrap it up there. But
that's a good way to do it.
close it out. In Elven, you hear Varys. You can be his favourite in hell, little brother. I'll have no one challenge me for the airship. The throne will, the house of Gilicent will be mine.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Ash.
Damn it.
Well, don't worry. We sent for help. The help arrives. Town is burnable. Town is burnable.
Oh, by the way,
We're
Nord,
not in town yet.
Mhm.
No,
you
but
know all
all
those
I'm
bad
saying.
rolls that you've had this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we didn't have any combat, did we?
I'm
So
so
next
happy
time-
for that. Next time, I better be getting a minimum of 2 natural 20s with those 2 natural ones.
I'm not surprised after those 1s and 4s and 3s and man.
Oh, that was horrible.
Whereas me, we have been having no fucking combat. I've been rolling well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastically, in fact.
Get ready to carry us when this starts.
Yeah.
Venny's been rolling really well. She was rolling really crap last week.
That's because we
no.
have combat.
It reminds
Tell you
me
what.
of Varys's
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Righto. So let's do a thing before we close up the stream. MVP, starting with Colin and working our way down.
It's been a, like you're saying, a character development-y, slower movery session. As weird as this might be, I want to give mine to Triss for the subtle way that he kind of took and worked with the conflict with his brother and just how much that kind of reveals and develops his character. It was a small set of moments in there, and it can be argued that there wasn't very much, but what was there was very flavourful.
Came across as he wants to believe the best in everyone, in spite of everyone telling him that his brother's a complete dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the situation
Aye.
your family feud has gotten us into.
Well, that's just by existing, so it's not.
Yeah, older brother is ambitious, obviously.
How about the rest of the party just steps back and let Varys handle this on his own?
You're assuming that they'll leave witnesses.
Yeah.
Golder.
Well, to be quite honest, liked a few things this week. I'd love to give the MVP to Millie, but who was a complete fucking star all the way through. My sympathies go to Nord for his dice rolls, but yeah, I think I've got to give it to Trish this time round.
Mm.
Because I did like the level of sass that he produced when he came across his older brother, who, let's face it, is a middle brother and is a gigantic prick. So I loved that. I loved that exchange. The little bits here and there. Yeah, it was good. I'm done. Honey?
Jadis.
I am gonna go with. God damn it. I'm actually gonna go with Galdo.
Why?
One. You are nailing the accent that you said that you couldn't do.
Right.
It's been really good.
Yeah. And 2, the whole thing with the hammock was just amusing to me.
It
Fair.
was.
It was amusing to me as well, actually.
Yeah, I will go with Kristen as well, even though I.
Okay. At this
Yeah.
point, take your inspiration, Tris. Varus. Varus. Who would you have given it to?
Would it be self-serving if I wanted to give it to Millie?
Yes.
No, because a lot of the characterizations for Millie was from me. So that's just you paying respect to me, really.
Sure. Apart from that, if I was going to go with someone not the DM, I'd say
Suck up.
I would say Golda for just being the hammock, and just lots of little things throughout the episode, just which stuck me saying, yeah, he'd do that. Oh yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, the Steel Defender was quite funny as well. I like that.
Fetch.
Oh yeah, and as far as this, and because Steel Defender bit goes back to the GM as well, goes back
It's
to Ash,
true.
the GM as well. So
Steel Defender. Dwarf's best friend.
Oh yeah. Although as far as that goes, I was actually waiting for Millie to actually I was actually waiting for Millie to actually for Millie to fail another perception check, and I'm pretty sure Millie would have picked up a stick and thrown it for the Steel Defender.
Depends on if it was Goblins on watch or not.
Yeah.
Your pets have bonded more with other party members than a few people at this point. Righto, Varus. Episode name.
I'm just gonna go something generic like hit the road.
Hmm. Are we going up, Ash?
Yep. So,
Right.
Nord, Tanya?
Knights of Perception.
KN or NI?
Oh, like it's been a few nights of poor perception rolls. So nights of poor perception.
Yeah, is that spelt with a K or not?
I think he means an N.
Night as in night or night as in fighty bloke?
Like day and night.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
I thought you might have been going K since you're staying in former night bastions, towers. But yeah, Jadis.
I was just gonna go with road trip.
Road trip. Hold on.
Fetch.
Fetch. Fetch quest.
I quite like
Love
the
that.
Knights of Deception. Actually, I think that was quite clever. I like that.
The Knights of Poor Perception.
Yeah.
Colin.
Brain, no.
Brain, no. Okay.
Interesting name.
Also quite appropriate. so I agree.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
No, on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna vote for that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there's your title then.
I don't always have ideas.
Nice one, Ed.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for anyone that watched. Bit of a slower episode, though, coming into the next session and potential repercussions from what's about to transpire.
Yep.
There are always repercussions. Anyway, see you all next week. Players, don't
next
forget
week.
to
Stay
let me know
warm,
that
drink
you're about.
water. Don't forget to
Stay-
do your shopping.
Cool down, don't get too hot.
Don't pull in.
Shut up.
That's actually something I say to everyone. Don't worry. It wasn't a you thing.
Okay, before I go any further, Colwyn, Varys, you've both got perception. Who is due to lose it this week?
Inspiration.
Inspiration. What did I say?
I had
Perception.
Perception.
I had inspiration.
It's showing on
I-
your thing there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's because I added it just then.
Oh, right. Well,
I got
you got it last week, so you will be losing it next week.
yeah. So I'll spend it during next session.
Yep.
If only there was some.
If I may,
Mm.
since it was largely a kind of filler session, I would say he keeps it an extra week.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't. I did say he'd lose it next week, as in after next week.
It expires after next session.
Alright.
Mm.
We're probably going to need it next session, let's face it.
Anyway, thank you. Good night. Goodbye. May
Laters.
all your blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and hope that sort of inspires you to live full lives.
Live free or die at hard.
Bye, everyone.
Catch you
Bye.
later, and we're out. Are we out?